So, as promised, we're going to take a closer look at the new Eclipse III. Sorry, I'm in a stupid mood this morning. Eclipse III, it's a little bit lighter than the Eclipse II. A few noticeable differences. So, I've actually got an Eclipse II here to kind of show you. These kind of struts in here, STX managed to thin those out a little bit. So it managed to drop a little bit of weight, and you'll notice the upper parts of those struts, there's actually fewer of them as well. So you just see we've got this one strut here, and we've got multiple struts there. But despite losing those struts, this thing is stiffer. I have a feeling, let's just have a look at the time. I have a feeling they say it's like 30% stiffer. Let's have a quick, well remembered, 30% stiffer. For increased saving power, new scoop design for optimal ground ball performance. So, yeah, the scoop is like quite a bit different actually. When it's hard for you to, yeah, there you go. Let's see if we can do that. The scoop's a lot different. And I'm not sure that, you know, loads of goalies had problems in the Eclipse II in terms of a ground ball, but it does seem that that scoop is improved a little bit. Seems like a bit beefier on the underside, actually, that scoop. Which is weird, because this thing does feel like that it's not beefy, but it's definitely a stiffer head. So, it's stiffer that way here, but this is where it's noticeable. It's stiffer up here, in this scoop section is just much stiffer. If I try and contort that head a little bit, see, there's a little bit of movement there, but there's not a lot. If we do that in the Eclipse II, which I think it's fair to say this has been the go-to head for, you know, a huge number of goalies. But, see, there's an awful lot more movement in there. Now, obviously, as heads get older, the plastic breaks down somewhat, and, you know, this was, like I say, there's nothing wrong with the Eclipse II. It's a great head. Eclipse III is a huge improvement. And, you know, just being able to kind of like lose that kind of play in the plastic at the top there, that is a big deal for goalies. That is a big, big deal. Years ago, STX actually did, when they released this, they did a really good video of how a head contorted on a shot compared to the original Eclipse. Now, I don't know if STX intends to do that and put a video out with the Eclipse III, but it was a fantastic video, and it actually shows how much a head will contort on a save, but also not just the movement of a goalie, but also if the ball actually hits these top sections, how it will actually contort slightly. Really interesting video. So if you can find that on YouTube, just go and check it out, because it's a really cool vid. The other huge difference with this is it's got a really cool ball stop. So no, there's more important thing than the ball stops, but it does have a cool ball stop. It's taken for this kind of shiny, metallic looking ball stop, and it just looks pretty dope. The throat is the biggest thing. So, you know, most goalies, if not all goalies, are taught to get their hands up on the plastic of the stick. And there's a lot more plastic here in terms of length to grab. Now, again, there was nothing wrong with the Eclipse II. Great head and really popular. You know, it allows you to get your hand further up on the stick. But just, it's difficult to put them side by side. But you can see there is a noticeable difference there in terms of the depth. And even if you look at the back there, you can get a good look from where the screws are, because the screw placement, you just try and do this. Again, obviously that one's in front, but it's hard to do them side by side. But it is a lot longer. I mean, I'd say, it's weird because from the bottom of the ball stop area, it's the same depth, pretty much. And if you look from the back, it's just they've lost some of this bit of plastic here. Yeah? You can see. It's just not as kind of like flared out earlier in the throat, if that makes sense. So it will allow goalies to get their hand much further up on the plastic, which is great. Now, I said in one of the other kind of new product drop videos I did when we were talking about this, I'm actually going to dye one of these. I've not done a dye for so long story, but just like lost the kind of passion for dyeing a little bit, and we've just been so busy that I haven't done anything for a long while. But as I do this video, the pans are actually warming up, so I am going to do a goalie head pretty soon, but I've actually got some other dyes I'm going to churn out first. Now, if you are a dyer, you're going to be pleased that the plastic on this is nice and smooth all over the place. I found, and I did do quite a few dyes on Eclipse 2s, the throat was a rough area to get decals on because there was all this kind of weird kind of texture on it and stuff. And even kind of this lower outer part here, there was textures. And there was a few other areas where it's a little bit more difficult to get decals on, like the struts here. Oh, I mean, the plastic on this, it's a dream. You know, this is gonna be so easy to dye. All the plastic is smooth as a baby's bum. So this is gonna be a joy, and I'm gonna be looking forward to doing some stuff. I've got a feeling I'm gonna do you know what? I might do a couple of dyes. I did have a goalie ask me if I could replicate a Cypress Hill dye I did on a, I think it was a Mark II I did it on. So I might actually do that. I might go and do a Cypress Hill themed dye on one of these. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the other one. Have a bit of a think. I'm definitely going to dye a couple of these up. I still think they're going to dye really well. But as I said, it's you know, they've managed to lose some weight and yet have a stiffer head. It's definitely a little stiffer here as well. You've still got, and you're always going to have, you know, a bit of play there. You know, but you can see here, it's so much more stiffer than the Eclipse 2, it really is. You know, and as I said earlier in the video, you know, the important bit is this bit here. So this is an Eclipse 2. And you just have not got the same movement in the top of that head. So if you're a goalie, and if you're in the market for a new head, I think you need to check this out. I really do. It's marginally more expensive than the Eclipse 2. Unfortunately, that is just, you know, something we don't have control of. Manufacturers just pushing the prices up, but, you know, I think in the current financial climate, everybody's understanding that, you know, prices are going up, you know, material costs, you know, people's wages going up, you know, there's a lot of factors here. Shipping's going up, you know, so unfortunately, you know, it is a little bit more expensive than the Eclipse 2. Is it worth spending a bit more money? I think in terms of longevity, this is going to outlast an Eclipse 2, definitely. So, like I said, if you are in the market for a new goalie head, this cannot and should not be ignored. Eclipse 3, huge product drop from STX.